Hello and welcome to another episode of...
Which way does it go? The English Couple.
The English Couple.
Or does it go the other way? I can't remember now.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It matters not too much. We are sitting, as you can see, by a beautiful swimming pool in a wonderful hot country with palm trees.
Palm trees, beaches, bamboo.
No, alas,
Not quite.
not that. But we are sitting in a beautiful cabin, an Airbnb.
Yes.
The lovely Julia and me. And it was Julia's birthday last night.
Well, the whole of yesterday, in fact, but...
Oh yeah, she only has a birthday at night time, you know. Don't you know?
Don't you know?
But we, as a special treat, I've purchased a nice little Airbnb. We chose it together. In fact, you found it first.
I found it first, but then I dismissed it thinking, no, it's a bit too rustic, a bit too... I don't know.
It's lovely.
And then the next minute, he says, what about this one? I'm like, oh, yay!
Very
That's
lovely.
a great one.
Near Horsham in Sussex, so it's not too far away from home,
Yep.
but enough to be away from home and...
In a different environment, different... it's different four walls, isn't it?
Yeah, different four walls, very comfy bed, and beautifully laid out. You can't see all of it, but you get a sense of it.
It's quite inspirational, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just that sort of rustic stuff with the doors and the old-fashioned hinges, latches, that's the word.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, when we move and we get our dream house, our forever home, it will be very lovely to have cabins or yurts or whatever made in a similar fashion.
Yeah, that we could Airbnb ourselves.
Yeah, and we're just gathering, you know, all these different places we go to, we're gathering ideas, aren't we?
Yeah.
Which is great. So it's the morning of, the night before, we've got to head out. I see it's 11 o'clock on the old grandfather clock up there on the wall, this sort of miniature grandfather, but it hasn't actually moved ever since we've been here, so it's been 11 o'clock.
It's been 1 minute past 11 for quite some hours.
Yeah.
It was the source of some joking, of course, which was good.
Some jesting and larking about.
Joshing.
So last night, so we came in here and the lady showed us around, and then that was that. We came in, we had been to a farm shop.
Aye.
And tell the lovely viewer what we had as a birthday meal.
As a birthday meal, we had a lovely ribeye steak from our lovely Charlie's farm. My accent's all over the place, I'll stop.
It was a lovely ribeye steak. It was the most expensive one they did, cut.
Yeah.
And we had two of those.
Very good. We had lovely pointed peppers, you know, the sweet ones.
Oh yeah, sweet peppers, potatoes,
roasted
carrots.
Potatoes, carrots, and
gravy. And then we had smash cake, which apparently is a thing.
I was making my birthday cake yesterday with my littlest, because my eldest was with my mum. Not that that matters, but yeah, and it didn't quite go to plan. The cake stuck in the tin, so it turned into smash cake, which I only discovered smash cake was a thing a couple of weeks ago, in fact, so that was fortuitous.
And this was, what was it, vanilla?
It was vanilla.
Vanilla flavoured sponge.
I was trying to make a Madeira cake or a Victoria sponge type thing.
But we jazzed it up with some farm shop...
clotted cream
from Jersey and Guernsey cows.
Jersey and Guernsey cows, yeah.
And then some beautiful...
A strawberry jam from Ringdon Farm.
Yeah. So we made that. We also had a beer. I had a beer.
And I had a silly moo cider.
A silly moo cider.
Cowfold cider.
And then we followed that up with some port.
Oh yes, I almost forgot about that.
Yes, which was very nice.
We were a bit, just mildly schlozzled by then.
We were a bit schlozzled. But we went out for a stroll, just up a little quiet road into the village area, looking at trees in the darkness. Nobody was about at all. And there was
a couple of cars,
but it was no pedestrians. And it was very beautiful because it was cold, but it was very still. And in the village that we were staying at, we were at the edge of the village, so we walked into the village. You had the lamps, the street lights, with their little old-fashioned sort of pools of light around. It was very much like you would see in a 1950s black and white movie.
I was very tempted just to stop and go, memory. Anyway.
It's not quite what I was thinking, but...
No, that's not what you were thinking. We have two different brains that think different things. Isn't that surprising? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, gosh, I didn't...
Enlightening.
Yeah, enlightening. So, we did that, and we looked at some oak trees and some yew trees and me trees.
Damn, you got there before me.
But it was lovely. It was a very lovely, gentle walk. We didn't go far because it was dark. We did take a torch.
Yeah.
And
we did make friends with one particular tree, didn't we?
Yes.
Had a good old tree.
And that was an oak. And a turkey oak?
I think it was a turkey oak. But it was really interesting because it had some really long branches that, thick, sturdy branches that came out quite some way, like radiating, like almost sun rays, and you could tell underneath there's big, thick roots that matched them underneath. It was, beautiful. And I'd love to have climbed it, sorry.
And yeah, no, it was absolutely. And the thing I was thinking of was, as we looked at it with those branches that you mentioned, because they're now denuded of pretty much all the leaves, it struck me that if you had time, if we lived 1,000 years, the tree could slowly bring its branches around us and cuddle us, but we, as visitors in its time zone, must appear like a fleeting
flash,
like an
ant.
So quick, because how a tree, some of its tree's boughs will travel sort of 30 years and then find the gap in the canopy above, and you see it with these very long. Instead of just going straight up, it's obviously sort of had to weave around, but it's taken 30 or 50 years in order to do that. So their time scale must be, if they were conscious in the way that we're conscious. I mean, I'm not saying they're not conscious, because they probably are in a different way.
Quite probably.
But if they thought the way we think, it would be, to them it probably is just like, just reach up there and have a stretch. I don't know, maybe I'm just talking rubbish.
No, it's lovely imagery. I like it.
It's a sort of romantic idea of a tree coming around and cuddling you and saying, thank you for visiting me. And I think there were signs, were there not, on there that someone had posted a
like
public
an oval
notice.
Kind of sign. It was almost beware of dog shape.
Yeah. But it was on a little grassy patch that was...
Yeah, it wasn't likely to be the edge of a driveway or anything at that point.
It wasn't the centre of the village. The village was further up, and there was a pub and a church, of course, and all the usuals. But so we didn't manage to get that far because it's quite spread out, and it was dark and cold. But we sobered up, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
I tell you,
it was quite frosty.
Yeah, it did.
That's right. When we were standing under the turkey oak, for what we think was the turkey oak. Picked up some leaves from underneath it, trying to work out what it was, and to pull the leaves apart, they were frozen. I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually frozen.
And there were puddles, but that puddles weren't frozen.
No, it's not quite cold enough for that yet.
So, so it is in the last days of November as we record this, and this will go out pretty soon, but if you're watching this, months later, just so you've got an idea of time scale. But next up is Christmas.
Yep.
And Christmas is approaching, of course, very fast.
Rapidly, yes.
So in 26, 27, 28 days, something like that, barely a month. And there's that sort of mad rush to make Christmas into something memorable and special and all those things.
I've still got all my Christmas shopping to do. I'm not as well organised as many of you lovely viewers, I'm sure.
I want to show people.
What? Around the room? No?
No. I want to show them what it's like being right over here. No, I want to...
show them your book.
Julia and I, as you may or may not know, we love to read to one another. We don't watch television and things, and the one thing we did do is turn the telly off.
Oh yeah.
There was a big telly with a frozen image. I don't know what that was about.
No, it was kind of a
still frame from something.
A firelit room scene.
Yeah. But anyway, we turned that off. And so one of the things we love to do is to read, because reading is great. And this book I would recommend if you're into old England, rural England, what's happened to it, that sort of wistful look back and think about the juxtaposition of where we are today and what we used to have and what we've lost. This book, The Lost Village, is a terrific read by Richard Asquith. His other books I was very interested to go and read because I love his writing style, but he is into fell running, and so his other books about running, and I'm not really into running.
No, we're not really runners, are we?
But it's
only when we're running around the Tor.
Yeah.
The St Michael's Tower on the Tor in Glastonbury.
Yes, or running late.
Or running late.
And it's a shame when you find a book and an author that you love the way they write and the way they express themselves, and then the other books are just nothing like on the subject matter. He probably writes just as wistfully and beautifully. But yeah, this is a great book. We sat yesterday and this morning reading to each other little bits from that. Anyway, I just
Very
thought
good practice for oration.
Yes. We did spend quite a bit of time yesterday talking about oration
Oh, yeah.
in pseudo accents. We've been watching a chap on YouTube every now and again, just following this chap who is in Kentucky.
Yeah, but he's from South Carolina originally, so...
And he's got this accent that if we do it now, we're going to bugger it up, of course.
Yeah.
There are certain keywords to get us into it.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me. And he's just hilarious. I stumbled across him completely by accident, really. And I was taken by the accent. And so
it's very nice, isn't it?
It's
really slow, and he likes to enunciate, and his lyrical tones are just fantastic.
They really... I can't do it very well.
I'm trying really hard.
And the observation that I made yesterday, which was really interesting, is because we were just, there's nobody about, so we were being silly as a couple is. So we were both doing these accents. But what's interesting was I said to Julia, I said, do you know, sometimes in normal talking, you and are, you repeat things, or you have those fill-in phrases like, or do you know what I mean? That people say and they don't even notice that they've actually said them, and they have no additional bearing on the sentence, but they just these fill-in phrases. And Julia sometimes does that, but when you were doing the accent,
I do not then say and are and you know.
and unless it's a pointed
yeah,
which is then which is more deliberate, and that's really interesting. I found, but the thing about that accent is the fact that it is slow, and as you say, it's so lyrical, a bit in the way that the Welsh is very lyrical. And
modulation, is that the word I was looking for?
Modulation. And that thing about using the words and expressing the words and elongating those vowels. It's good. And this guy just does it naturally because that's how he's been brought up. And then you compare it to England and English, and then here am I talking in English.
And we're speaking wrong. I mean, I know. You know.
And we're so rapid in our bang, 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 getting the words out very quickly, and also dropping T's, H's, and all of that. Know what I mean?
Not me, Larry.
I'm going to go and put the book back now.
Alright, you can put the book back.
Bit of dynamic action here, you're seeing.
Yeah, just another piece of the rustic room. Look at this. I'm not sure what wood it's made from. Maybe it's elm. But, beautiful. What are they called? Coasters. For putting your drinks
Yeah,
on.
oh, crikey.
Did you finish that? I hope so.
I don't know where it's gone. It's gone under the sofa.
You got it.
I hadn't quite. My
There's a
cup's
little bit
just
left
gone
in
under
there.
the sofa. I've got to go and get a mop now.
There's cloth up there. Oh dear, the drama. Anyway.
Well, excuse me while I go under the sofa.
You made a right big mess down there.
I tell you.
I could make some crude joke about while you're down there, but I'm not gonna do that.
I'm so glad.
I'm so glad I'm such a lady that I won't say that type of thing.
Well, that's good.
That is good, isn't it?
That's very good.
That's so funny. We had a whole conversation about the accents and dialects.
And then the trouble was we couldn't get out of it. That was, and we were even having a shower, still doing this
Would you like me to wash your back?
That would be mighty fine. I really appreciate that.
No, I hope nobody thinks that we're taking the mick out of the accent.
We're certainly not taking the mick.
We really appreciate it. It's a really lovely accent.
It's beautiful. And what it teaches me is that we should be pay more attention to the words we speak, the sounds we make, and the communications that we have by slowing down.
Just that little bit.
When you're listening to this chat, he is talking quite slowly, and the elongating the vowels and all of that, and it's so beautiful to hear a language that is enjoyed. Well, that's not quite what I mean to say, but that is joyful.
Yeah.
To listen to, and a lot of our words, it's just so. Utilitarian these days, we just have to say them, we get them out, we just blah 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 blah, and it's very lyrical, as you've said before.
Lyrical, yeah.
Which is a miracle.
Not harmonious, melodic.
Melodic as well.
Lyrical and lilting.
And that's one of the great advantages of the YouTube internet revolution, is that you can tune into people across the world that you would never have been able to do. I mean, there's many things I think that the internet has killed off, as in conversation ordinarily, reading to one another.
As you said in one of your own videos the other day, that the younger generations, my generation younger, gets harder and harder for them to communicate just with strangers on the on the street, or the bus stop, or anything like that. And I've always made extra effort because my mum's always been very affable, and I've always kind of followed her suit in that way, or tried to. But it's strange. I mean, when my car broke down a couple of weeks back, it was a couple of months now, wasn't it? And I had to go and wait at the bus stop. I found myself, there'd be young people with their earphones in and, just keeping themselves to themselves. But then there'd be the older generations. But I found I was almost intermingling the whole lot. I guess I was kind of the middle age of the whole.
You are in the Middle Ages, my dear.
Yes, I am. 21 times 2. That feels really cool to be able to say that about myself now. It's funny.
Yeah. Whilst I just think of it.
Oh, yes.
Let's do a thumbnail.
Thumbnail.
There we go.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. We showed them the fire bucket.
Oh yeah.
We show you the fire bucket. We had a wood burning stove here, a beautiful wood burning stove, and they put kindling in this fire bucket.
But we burnt it to ashes.
Yes, we did. And then they've got some logs, and outside their actual house, which we're in the sort of garden of, but away from the house, so we're completely separate. They have a huge stack of logs. So I'm going to fill up the van on the way out.
No, he's not.
No, not really. But and so it's got sort of all this sort of theme. A lot of theming stuff is to do with cars. Oh, and talking of that.
Talking of what? Let's pull a teeth.
I'm talking about that.
You got some hair in your ears.
Ooh. They have a garage. They have.
Oh yes, they do. Oops.
Tell them.
They have a really lovely little garage.
You tell them, Stanley.
With a window on the side, you can have a peer in from the driveway. It's immaculate. It's like a little museum thing in there for some retro stuff. But the main feature is this very beautiful split-screen VW camper van.
When you say split screen.
Yes, as in it's got.
Oh yes, on the windscreen.
Yeah, it's not one complete screen. It's
yes. Yeah. Sorry.
It's not a computer.
No. I was thinking of split screen on a film.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Beautiful VW camper. What colour?
Red.
Red. And immaculately clean. Immaculate. I mean,
sorry.
No, go on.
The lovely thing is, although it's immaculate and well kept, there is some bug spatter on the front. It does get used. That's lovely.
And it's beautiful. And in here, there is a fridge themed up.
There is a VW couch.
Hang on, I'm going to just show you.
Stunning.
Look at that. Oh, and whilst I'm here.
Excuse the mess. There's the bed cabinet.
Just so you get to see a little bit of
Dining
it.
table here. Oven, hob, sink, view to the house. Oh, the view to the fields over there is rather nice. Shall we have a look out the bedroom window?
So, let's see if I can do this without making it too wobbly for the viewer.
It's bleached out there at the moment.
But it is nice.
Just trust us, it's beautiful out there. It's just fields. We saw deer in there, out there this morning. And evidence of a bird of prey having caught and eaten their dinner.
Sorry about the lack of
Couth.
editing there to cut out all those bits, but
Meh.
that grinded your teeth, didn't it?
Sorry about it.
But yes, the lovely Julia and I had a lovely time.
Yes, thank you very much for my wonderful birthday treat.
Oh, it's my pleasure, of course.
You're the best present ever.
Mm.
Do you need a sick bucket? Here, I'll get the fire bucket.
The English couple. So, yeah, well, we hope next year, particularly, to be out and about and do more of these. Now Julia's got her own camera and she can be more insistent about getting the English couple done.
Yep.
As I'm a bit lackadaisical on that because of the other channel.
Yeah, no, it's you know, it's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But there we are, 21 minutes is probably enough.
Oh, yeah, wow, that went quite quickly, didn't it?
That did. We've got to pack our bags and get on the road.
Yeah.
Because they'll want to come in and clean because they may have somebody in here tonight.
Well, they don't have too much cleaning to do. We are quite good at that.
We are. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it's been interesting. Do leave a comment and
like and subscribe.
If it's a nasty comment, keep it to yourself.
Well, you know, whatever, but you know.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. This is a friendly channel for friendly people.
What? No.
Well, excuse
me.
Yes, indeed. Anyway,
Off.
toodle pippin.
People do.